Hello. I'm craving a soup. What about you?
Let him cook.
I'm thinking about doing an
Let him
experiment
cook
as
now.
well.
Let him cook.
Kind of had it in my brain. It's like a celery soup. I've never had a celery soup. So I looked up, kind of briefly Google searched, did a little research. Looks like some people do something like celery, onion, potato, cook it down, and they blend it, make it like a nice puree, pour it back in with some cream. That's an option. Saw them throwing some tomatoes in there. Tomatoes. I don't know why I always say tomatoes instead of potatoes. But I think I got this. I don't really have a blender per se. I don't know if I'm gonna do the puree or not. Thinking about it, so that's in the maybe. Also, potatoes are gonna be in the maybe pile. But I got my favorite mushroom, shiitake. So I'm thinking that might be good in there. So if I do make it with the puree, I think I might add some cream in there. So I was going to do like just chicken broth, maybe put the cream in there, and throw the mushrooms in towards the end. I think that might be good. So if I do the potatoes, then it's got to boil for like at least 25, 30 minutes. It's kind of late, 9:35 p.m. So this is like a little late night craving, just kind of whipping something up together. Never really made this before, but I don't know. It's been on my mind for the last couple of days. And I don't know why. Just celery soup, celery soup, celery soup. And I'm like, get out of my head and into the pot. Actually, it's going to be into the pan. I'm just going to make it in my iron skillet. So I'm team iron skillet over here. And I've already got my veggies prepped. Just going to do, I had like 4 stalks of celery. And I used like 3 red onions. They were on their way out, so they're not full onions. I trimmed some of them off. So I had a little bit of like a little goopy on them, so I cut that off. I got like 5 cloves of garlic. I'm thinking about the start. I chopped it kind of fine. Not the finest in the world. I'll show you if I throw it in there. But I'm thinking just throw that. Get some olive oil. I'm cranking up. Some heat. Throw the veggies in. Saute them down. Trying to decide because I got this thing. It's like a milkshake machine. Let me show you. Little oyster. I could boil the veggies down. It's got a little blender. You put it in there and go vroom, 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 vroom. I could put it in that, puree it a little bit. But then it kind of gotta let it cool down a little bit because you don't want to be working with the hot veggies in the blender. So I could just make it more like a traditional, just like a broth soup without doing the puree. But it's kind of just like, it's kind of melding through my mind on what to do. What would you do? If you were going to make a celery soup, would you make it more puree style where it's nice and creamy and like a thickness? Or would you go just like almost kind of like a chicken noodle where it's just broth and then you got your chunky veggies in there? That's my little dilemma there, because also with my shiitakes, I don't really want to blend them either. So if I do cook them and blend it, pour it back in, I'll think about doing that and then like adding the mushrooms in next or after the blending process and it all comes together. So I would probably put the cream in towards the end too. I don't know the exact order, but really I'm just gonna just wing it. So I guess to further ado, might as well get my pan cranked up, throw these veggies in there, and I'll see where this meal takes me. Come along for the journey. It'll be fun. I guess I didn't really do a super fine amount. And I think I did like 2.5 to 3 onions. I didn't want to overpower it, so I think I'm gonna leave that one off. I got the celery, that was 4 stalks. That was about 2.5 onions-ish. And I got this garlic. So to start, I think I'm just gonna start the thingies. Start with the celery and onion. It's a lot of times in my soups, I make a lot of baked potato, loaded baked potato soup. So I've made that a lot, so I'm kind of leaning towards leaving the potatoes out of it. Kind of just have a little switch it up, be a little different. Because I'm mostly always do that, but potatoes are so good, Especially with that cream, if I get that cream hit. Ooh, decisions, because like there's so many different like soup recipes or variations, but I always kind of just kind of combine them and put all my favorite things in there. Like once I've got this going, like, oh, what about some potatoes? Well, potatoes would sound nice in there, huh? And also, I would put carrots in there, but we had some carrots, but they were tasting funny. Like they got started getting like a chemically taste on them. So I threw them out in the yard. Maybe some possums or rabbits will eat them. Maybe hopefully they're not poisoned by my carrots, like an evil witch or anything. But I just don't want to ruin my soup with them, so I threw those out the door. So Nate, let them go back to nature, you know. So what would you do? Would you add the potato? I might as well add it in there. But then also, if I blend it and puree it down, would you do that with a potato? Because then it's going to turn into like mashed potatoes. Ugh. Oh well, I'll keep pondering over it. For now, celery and onions going in this pan. Get that going. It's kind of a lot. Maybe I will have to puree it if I'm making this much. And if you didn't know, I'm team wooden spoon, gang. Gang. All right, not getting too crazy over here with the seasoning. Just gonna do probably like salt, pepper, and my favorite little Complete by Badia. Let me show out. I usually always use this in my veggies. Put a generous amount. Salt and pepper. You know the drill. Nice little stir. Honestly, I think I'm gonna get a little crazy. 14 spices going in. Same company, Badia. Just a good, generous, I don't know, 16 dashes is about what I would put in there. And since we gotta get flavorful, might as well throw a little Cajun in there as well. All right, that's probably good on seasoning. A little more olive oil, and I'm gonna let this cook down at least like 10 minutes or more. That's gonna go like at least 10 minutes, maybe 15, let that cook down. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my garlic chopped up right now. Garlic, I guess, is like a little more sensitive than onions and bell peppers or like celery, those type of veggies. So I always get those going first, let them sweat down, and then I add my garlic in 5 to 10 minutes later. It depends on how long you're cooking or what you are cooking, but just do those veggies first, then garlic goes in next. Here's my little pile of garlic. It's a decent amount. We're getting garliced up today. Ain't no vampires getting me, I'll tell you that much. All right, my friends, this is how that's looking. Let's go ahead and throw the garlic in with the onions and celery. Trying to decide now, it's always my thing. Should I put a little bit of bacon grease in there? I don't really have a fat. I've got some olive oil. There's gonna be some cream into it. Does it need a little bit of bacon grease? Go ahead and leave me a comment. Should I put bacon grease in it? Do you think I will? Would you? All right, garlic in. I'll gut this about at least like 5 minutes, and I'm gonna try to blend it. Let's see how that goes. So this might be a dumb way to do it. Well, this is my little emulsifier slicer upper and slicer dicer guy, and I think I should put some. So I'm gonna be using some chicken stock. Well, I'll make a bouillon. So I think I'm gonna stuff that in there. Then I'm gonna put some chicken stock in there, just so it has some liquid to puree with. I'm pretty sure that it'll need that. And I don't know if I can get it all in at one time either. Let's see what happens. Are you ready? Oh, got me a bowl of water. Got me a nice little hunk of that bouillon. And we'll just spin this around, make this the broth. Brothy. Or at least the start of the broth. Maybe it is all the broth. I don't know. I'm just mixing up this in the water. That's how we're living. Okay. I'm sure there's a lot of smarter ways to do this and better materials. And I should probably let this cool down, but today, it's not, I don't have the time for that. I'm wondering if I should have put more celery into this. If it's gonna be a celery soup, you know? It's looking like I got equal parts onion to celery. So I don't know if I should go ahead and crank up some more celery. I think this is gonna fit to make my puree. So let's see how this looks, and then I'll see if I'm gonna add more celery. All right, doing a pivot. This is what I got. About half a barrel. I don't think this is a celery soup. I need to add more celery. I only put 4 stalks in there. I might puree this and go ahead and chop up some more celery and throw it in there and saute it and leave those in chunk form. And then I'll have these onions and celery in puree form. So I'll have more of a hearty celery. So I'm looking for a celery hit. I don't know if you ever looked for one of those before, but I'm feeling it today. All right, so boom, that's the move. I think that's how the cool kids talk these days. Checked out my rest of my celery. It was about played out. So I washed that down, cut up 4 more stalks. I already had that half an onion out, so it was getting a little peppy. So soup's kind of a good way. Once you got some veggies going out, just chop them up, get them into that pot so you don't waste them. So that's what we're gonna do. Got those chopped up. Gonna throw those in the pan. Same process as before. Let them cook down. And then we'll get to this little experiment, puree. Then we'll just dump everything together and get this thing done. All right, there's my little container. I'm gonna pour in some chicken stock. I guess that's about good. I don't know, maybe I'll add a little more just in case. About 3/4 the way full. Let's put it on that zoom zoom machine, see what happens. All right, let's see if I can make some puree. How's the thing go in there? Like that. Oh, we're looking. Whoa! All right, back over to the pan. Threw those veggies in there. Now I need to throw a little bacon grease in there to get some flavor going, you know? Come on. About that much. Not too much, you don't go crazy. A little flavor action on it. And it's bacon! Y'all heard those commercials for that doggy bacon? That's how it's smelling in here. Got me going, bacon! All right, so I'll let that simmer down maybe 2 more minutes. I don't want those veggies to get too cooked down. I've got my chicken stock right here. I'm gonna pour that in, and then I've got my puree. Gonna add it to the stock. Probably let that chum come up a little bit. And I think that I'm gonna wash my mushrooms, throw those in there, throw some cream in there, and we'll be eating some soup. Or I just like. All right, the celery is looking fat and happy with that bacon fat in there. Let me get this broth in here. Looking nice, looking nice. And now for the puree. Let's see how this. Not strong enough. All right. Puree going in. It's still hot. Ooh. It looks like throw up, but I bet it's gonna taste good. Get a little stir action. Yeah, it's still kind of thin. I didn't really oh God, spilled some. I didn't really, oh gosh, gotta settle down. I didn't really measure my water. I probably could have just added a little less stock to make it more thick. But we'll add some cream in there so it'll get thicker with that. And you know, it's probably not the smartest idea to cook a soup in an iron skillet, but as with the wooden spoon game, I'm team iron skillet, so I'm loyal to the skillet. I guess I could get me a bigger cauldron or use a big pot. But I just cleaned it, it was out. It looked fun. I didn't think I was making this much soup, but apparently I made a little bit more. That seems to be a problem sometimes. It's hard to cook small amounts for 1, 2, 3. I got like a soup for 8 going on right now. Next step, my shiitakes. Just gonna wash them, give them a rough chop, just throw them in. I think I'll probably let this, it's 10:13 now, so we're about 45 minutes into this. Probably let it come up to a boil, let it simmer. At least 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. You could probably let it go longer, let it reduce down and marinate with the flavors. But it's not the latest night of soup, but it's kind of a late night soup for a weekday. That's the gist of it. All right, I'll shut up. Spoiler alert, I went ahead and I got a little spoonful, a taste of the soup. I think I gotta make an executive decision. It needs potatoes. I got these small ones. It's gonna extend the time on my cook, but I'm gonna cut them like small slivers probably. So I don't think they'll take too long, but it's boiling over there. I think it needs potatoes. Also got my shiitakes right there, sliced up nicely. So I think I'm gonna throw in potatoes for a little bit and then give that maybe 15 minutes. Throw in the mushies, a little bit of cream, and we'll be eating. I'm gonna just do like half a pound to a pound. That's not a lot. So much for easy, quick soup. But I made them small pieces. Not too big, not too small, just enough to taste them in your mouth. I tried my best to stick to it. What I did when I kind of briefly did some research, I saw some potatoes in some people's recipes. They also put like dill and leeks. I've never cooked with either one of those, so if I had them, I probably would have tried them. But it's almost turned into baked potato soup because it's got onion, celery. So I don't know. Still kind of looks like muddy throw up over there, but you know, a soup tastes good when it looks like muddy throw up. So I'm gonna let that chill out, boil up. Good 15 minutes. It's 10:23 now. 10:45. You just go ahead and you poke a little fork in there. I think they'll pretty much be fork tender. And I'll throw in my mushies. I think you can eat mushrooms raw, but they won't take long to cook, 2-3 minutes. And then I'll add a nice little generous bloop bloop heavy whipping cream. And we'll have a soup and go to bed. What's y'all's favorite soup? Y'all like potato soup? Do you have a favorite ingredient? Well, I guess it's supposed to be celery soup. Do you have a favorite ingredient? Can't remember if I asked y'all or not. Do you have a favorite soup? A favorite ingredient to put in the soup? Can you make sweet potato soup? I don't know why that just came to my noggin, but I might have to make some sweet potato soup. That kind of sounds good. All right, so my soup's looking pretty nice roll and boil. I think those taters about done. It's like 10:35. I'm just gonna go ahead and toss in my mushies. Bloop, 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 bloop. Let them cook down, warm up. They don't really cook too much. At least I don't think. I'll swirl them around. So this thing I thought it was gonna turn green, but it's like brown throw up. That's how it's looking. But I think it's gonna be good. What they say, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a soup by its sight. Maybe something like that. Maybe next time I'll stick to the script a little bit more. Just do strictly, I don't know if it's strictly celery, just less celery. Make it, just blend it down, make it look more green. And not, I guess the potatoes wouldn't matter. Did the onions make it brown? I don't even know how it got that brown. Maybe because I cooked them down so much and burnt them up a little bit. Or caramelized them. I don't know. I guess I like to hit the mushrooms maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. It's been going about a minute. And we're gonna cream it up and then serve it up. I'll taste it out. Only had one little sample before I added the potatoes and the mushies. And the cream's probably gonna change the flavor too. This shirt kind of like matches the mushies, right? Maybe a different type of mushy. Old Bucky boy. All right, turn that burner down to maybe a 3. It was at a 5. I should do a nice healthy cream hit. That's probably half a cup, if I had to guess. Maybe 3/4. See if we get a nice color change on this. It's looking good. I like the color change. You got like the oil on top. It's kind of looking psychedelic. What kind of mushies are these? Here we go. And that's how we're looking. Got that fungus floating around in there. Broth, creamy, A little bit of fat on top. So technically this could kind of work. Meatless Monday or a meatless meal or almost vegetarian. You could leave out the bacon grease and you could do maybe butter. So it wouldn't be technically vegan, but I think vegetarians can eat butter. It's, these mushrooms, to me, like shiitakes are like a meat replacement. It tastes just about as good as steak. I might have found something here. I've never made any soup with shiitake mushrooms in there. But really, to be honest, I've only been eating them for the last maybe 3 or 4 years. I was real picky when I was little as an eater. And I just got into starting eating mushrooms. I'll eat the portobellos. But the shiitakes, whew, those are my jam. This is good. It's packed full of flavor. You get that nice creaminess. And then you could taste the, I don't know, the celery. Let me get a chunk of celery. Celery's decent with the onions. I don't know if I haven't gotten a potato hit yet. I haven't found a potato yet. But the mushies, my God, those are the star of the show on this soup. Broth's good though. It's not too spicy. It's seasoned well. You could add a little cayenne pepper to it. My family's not big on spice. I love it, but I'd have to add it to my own bowl by itself. But that mushroom pairs very well with that. The cream. I'm loving this. I would like it a little thicker. So I don't know if I should have smushed up the potatoes a little bit. That would have made it thicker. Because it's still, let me show you. It's not super runny, but it is a little wet. I would like to see it a little thicker. So if I smash up those potatoes, that would thicken it up. But whew, this is good. I wonder if some bay leaves would have been good in there. Yeah, a little bit of celery in my mouth. So maybe I should have pureed everything, like the potatoes with all the veggies. If I pureed all that would have thickened it up. At first I was kind of scared, like if I did it with the mashed potatoes, would it make it more like mashed potatoes? But I think that it needs to be a little more smush. Get that more puree. And then you'll have that right celery hit with these mushies. With the mushies. I'll do one more little bite with y'all. What a choice. Shiitake. Where have they been on my whole life? If you've never tried one, get on it. At least just try a little nibble. I wouldn't say it changed my life, but it makes me, what is that joke? Makes me more of a fun guy, you know? That joke's kind of played out. But anyways, would you try this? You ever eaten shiitakes? Do you like shiitakes? So I don't know if I can call this a celery soup though. That was the original celery shiitake soup. I guess this technically still is. I threw in the, I lied, I need another bite, sorry. But it's hearty. Make you feel like you're at home. Warm and fuzzy on the inside. All right. If any of you soup heads made it this far, you're a real one. Appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day. Hope you make some soup of your own. Try this recipe. Try some tweaks on it. Let me know if there's anything I should have done different. You would have done different. Any ingredients I need to look out for. I should try. Any of your favorites? Let me know. Would love to hear it. All right. Hope you have a great day. Bye.